Hello, movie patient, and welcome to Film Therapy. I am Brienne, also known as Miss Movies, also known as your film therapist. I am not a real therapist, but I play one on the internet just for this show. And as with every episode of Film Therapy, I have a guest patient. And my guest patient today is Ash Crossan. Did I say your last name correctly? Because
You
I would.
did.
Okay, excellent. 'Cause sometimes
Absolutely.
I get a little worried, and then I was like, I didn't ask beforehand. Oh no!
I know. So every time I do an interview, I just say it to their face, and then
Okay.
they're just like, I'm like, so Brianne Chandler, right? Chandler. I got it.
There you go.
They're
That's
like,
how you
yep,
do
yep,
it.
yep.
Got to get those interview skills. We're gonna get it out of the way right at the top, so that way I don't like. I had a friend who interviewed Michael Bean, and he was on their like podcast, and they were calling him Michael Bain, I believe,
Oh
like
no.
something like the whole time, and like halfway through, he was like, that's not my name, right? I just want to stop you guys and let you know that my name is not said that way.
I never correct anyone, so
All right. So here's how film therapy works. If you've never joined us, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Ash three questions. They're the same three questions about film every time that film therapy happens. What is a film that inspires you? What is a film or a scene from a film that triggers a memory for you? Perhaps it's painful, maybe it's happy. And what is a film that helps you through difficult times? So those are the three questions. Before we do that, let's get to know Ash a little bit better.
hey.
Hey, who are you?
Hi.
Why are you here?
Can I just say that I've been in bed for like 4 days, and this is the first human interaction that I've had. So this
Oh.
is very exciting for me. I'm
4
so
days.
happy to be
Wow.
outside.
Were you sick? What
Yeah,
happened?
yeah.
Okay.
I just didn't feel good. Started on Saturday night, and then
Hmm.
boom.
Wow. That's awful.
I
Was it,
know.
did you have the flu or you
I
just
don't.
were
I don't know.
that feeling of like, I've been hit by a truck,
Yeah.
so I need to just take it easy?
Sleep.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
So, hello world.
We also know you as Queen of Porgs. Is
Queen
that
of
how that
Porks,
works?
Porg Nation, Porg
Hashtag
Nation.
Pork
Oh
Nation.
man, what a ride that was. It's still going.
I don't know if that will ever end. I
No.
think that's who you are now, and therefore it will continue forever.
Yep.
I was like, you and Emma Fife are both the pork queens in my
Yes,
mind.
and her and I met through that. Like people
Okay.
kept tagging us in the same posts, and then we were like, we should hang out.
We both
So
like
we,
pork.
so yeah. What do we have in common?
And how did you come to appreciate Star Wars like
Oh
as a
well,
franchise?
yeah. Well, it was the year was 1997.
Okay.
They were re-releasing the special editions in
Hmm.
theaters, and I was 7 years old at the time. And my dad was like, "I'm going to take you to come to see this movie. It's in theaters. You're going to love it. It's called Star Wars." And I was like, "No, I want to like write in my slam book and make out with boys." No, we didn't do that when we were 7. Never mind. I don't know what I wanted
Maybe
to
that
do.
was 10 years later.
Yeah. So my dad took me to see it, and it's kind of like the rest is history after that because
Mhm.
I remember us sitting like front row in the Movies 10 in Wilmington, Delaware. Your feet stuck to the floor. It was a really crappy theater. And I was just glued to the screen. I think I was Princess Leia for Halloween that year. I was
And then the
obsessed with
next
it.
year and the following
And the
year.
following year, forever.
I continued to be Princess Leia. Was
Yeah.
that a like back to back triple feature? Or
I think I'm trying to remember. I think they released them like every week or month at that time that year, I want
okay.
to say. Um, and my dad claims we saw all three in theaters. I only remember seeing A New Hope for some reason. And then, because that was 97, like 2 years later, Phantom Menace came out.
Right.
So I felt the Star Wars was always coming out in my life,
And
pretty
now
much.
it is always
And
coming
now
out.
it's always coming out.
Always.
Always.
I like Star Wars, but I'm like a casual Star Wars fan. Like I will buy the merch, I will see the movies.
Wearing a
I
wearing a
got it.
shirt now.
I personally did not buy this, but someone bought it for me.
I have a
Uh,
Millennium Falcon necklace. There it is.
That's adorable. So I love Star Wars and like the fanfare of it.
Yes.
So but I'm not like a crazy like I don't read the books. I don't really know all the characters' names all the time.
It's becoming a lot of work. Like I
Sure.
love it, but it's like every week it's like, did you read this comic and this movie and this? I'm like, oh my god,
How do you keep up with it?
that's a full time
How does
job.
one keep up?
It really is people's full time jobs.
Well, let's get into my full time job, which is asking questions. Let's get into the first question, which is what is a film that inspires you?
Ooh, well, My answer to this is a movie called Into the Wild,
Okay.
because when I
Yes.
I was living in Delaware before I moved out to LA, I had this like very like wanderlust attitude. I was always reading books like Into the Wild and On the Road, and I always just kind of dreamt of like, like putting all your stuff in a van and just driving. And I watched that movie all the time, and it really inspired me to just like kind of just go. I mean, I wasn't gonna like go in the wilderness and die or anything like
Right.
that,
Right.
like that guy did. But it really inspired me to kind of just readjust my life completely, just
Hmm.
completely kind of start over, because I was living in Delaware. I was working at Nordstrom. I didn't really have a lot going
I
on.
worked at Nordstrom too.
Hey,
What
what
do you know? What do
department?
you know? As in point of view.
Oh my gosh, that's a good one. That's a
What's
good. See, I
yours?
was in shoes,
Okay.
which
Oh,
was
that's hard.
which was great because it was like a lot of sales in an hour, but it was also a lot of returns. So they take
Mm.
away your money when people return stuff.
Yeah, that's
Really
always
messed up. It
frustrating.
was the day after Christmas. I think I walk out with like negative $2,000.
I think that they have to protect from fraud, right? Someone
Yeah.
coming and buying all the stuff for a particular employee and then
Hmm.
returning it all, and then I know there was a fraud issue with
Oh,
one
I
of the
guess that
girls
could
that
happen.
that we worked with. I totally derailed us and I apologize, but I was like,
Well,
"Oh, it's Nordstrom."
there's a lot of memories at the Nordstrom. Um, but I was living with some friends. I didn't really know what I was going to do. I had my degree in journalism, but I was
Mhm.
living in Delaware. There's not a ton of journalism opportunities in the first state, Joe Biden's home. So my roommate at the time, Brett Smith, hey, um, said, I think I just kind of want to move to LA and be an actor. And I just thought about that movie, and I thought about all these books I was reading, and I said, you know what? Let's do it. Let's put our stuff in a car and let's just go. And we didn't have a plan. I mean, the plan was to get to LA eventually, but the drive there across the country, we had no plan. So we would
Mhm.
just stop where we wanted to stop. We'd stay multiple nights if we really liked the place. And it was the best experience of my life.
Aw.
I loved it. Utah's beautiful. Who knew?
How do you like so you come to LA with what, $100 in your pocket? Like how does that
Pretty
work?
much. Yeah. We got
That's terrifying.
it was scary. I mean, I knew I had a few months here at most, and then I
Mhm.
was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I figured, because we worked at Nordstrom, I was like, well, I can just transfer when I get out there. Like, it wouldn't be
Sure.
the end of the world to just work
That's
there for
true.
a little while. So that was kind of my backup plan.
Mhm.
And so when I got here, I called them, and they were like, no, we're not interested. I was like,
What?
what am I gonna do? Oh my god.
You're
They
like, "But the anniversary sale's coming up, so you're gonna need
I'm
someone."
like,
So
hello, pro shoe saleswoman of the year here. They did not want me at all. I didn't know what to do. So I started applying for every single PA job I could find on the internet. I even signed up for a website called entertainmentcareers.net. It was like $10 a month. And I just applied for every freaking job on there. And one said anonymous, nighttime, $8 an hour. Fine, applied, whatever.
anonymous. Whoa.
Yeah. Heard back from them. It was Entertainment Tonight.
And that's why they were anonymous.
Yeah, I thought I was applying for like a porn gig. I didn't even know. I was
You're
like,
like,
oh,
well,
yeah.
let's check this
And
out."
it was Entertainment Tonight, and I have no idea why they picked me out of a stack of resumes, but they did. And then I got the interview and I got the job, and it was such like a it's been a whirlwind since then because I still work there. Um,
Was Has your job changed since that? Okay,
yeah,
so what
yeah.
was your first job with them?
I was a PA there,
Mhm.
logging tapes at night. You kind of just watch the interviews of the day and kind of log what's going on. Um, and then I became an assistant for a producer, and she whooped my ass. She was like the toughest boss I've ever had. She trained me. She was like, I call it Bonnie Boot Camp, because her name was Bonnie Teagle, and she was amazing, but she was also the hardest boss I've ever, ever had. Oh my God. Love her. Um, so I was kind of losing my mind at that job because it was like day and night, 24/7, always on call. It was kind of like, that scene in Devil Wears Prada where she walks by and she's
I was
like,
gonna say, is she
she's
Miranda Priestly?
she was kind of like that. Like she
Okay.
loved me a lot more than that, but
Okay.
she would like kind of do that thing where she walks by and she's like, "What I do with that paper I had in my hand that last week?" And you're just like, "Oh
What?
my god!" And I had to figure out what that meant. It was so terrifying. So so I was losing my mind, and I kind of needed to find an outlet. So I started writing for the website just after hours kind of for
Mhm.
something to do that was my own. And did it so much to the point where they were like, we're going to hire you to work on the website. And Bonnie was like, go, yeah, you're done. Like, you did it. You're out of here.
Wow.
So I started writing for the
Hey,
website, and then I started producing videos, and then I started hosting the videos, and that's where I am now.
I like that story. I like the progression.
Yeah,
Not staying in one place, but progressing.
exactly. I always
It's
have to
really
grow.
nice. It's really nice. All because of Into the Wild.
Yeah, I think that's the starting point there.
Into the Wild, I remember writing. I used to have a small website called Hit or Miss Movies, which is why I am Miss Movies because it went with
Oh,
that.
I didn't know that.
That's why it went with that. Now I've changed it. I don't have that website anymore. So now I've changed it to Miss Movies because I miss movies because I have two kids. So I don't get to see as many movies as I used to.
Oh my gosh, I was interpreting this wrong. I thought you were like,
Yes. Like, oh, I know all about
I
movies.
miss
That's
movies.
yeah, no. Now it's like I miss them. Sorry. So it's nice because then people are like, you don't know that. I was like, sorry, I miss movies. Like, don't expect that from me. Um, so people kind of know what to expect. But I wrote a review for this for my own website, and it was like me going through the stages of depression that the movie put me into. Like I first like was like not accepting it. I was shocked at like how it what it did to me, and then I
Mhm.
was angry at the movie, and I was just like, why would it do this? And then
It's like yeah, it's definitely like one of two things because it's super depressing. But for me, I
Mhm.
was like, ah, I want to do that, but like not die at the end of it.
Right, which happens at the very beginning, everyone. Just so you know, in case you haven't seen it, and
I'm
you're
sorry,
interested in seeing
spoiler
it.
alerts on this 10-year-old
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, probably even older, right?
I think it
No.
was 2007.
Oh,
I
really?
think so.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense because like I started my website in like 2005, 4 or 5, something like that.
I think because I was like looking it up a few days ago of when it
Hmm.
came out. Otherwise, I don't know release dates at all. Like I
Well,
watched Scott Manson, I'm like, what the heck?
he remembers like what he was eating, what he was wearing.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I'm like, that came out in like 77, right? They're like, no.
I'm really excited because I saw a film with him for the first time, and I'm thinking in my head like I'm gonna be part of his like lexicon for this movie. Like he will know I saw that with Brienne, and we saw it on this date, and I'll be like,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
we did.
Oh, love Scott.
Let's get into our second question, which
Yeah.
is what is a film or a scene from a film that triggers a memory for you? Perhaps it's painful or maybe it's happy.
Okay. This is where it's gonna get weird
Okay.
because my movie is Out Cold. Have you ever seen
Okay.
Out Cold?
No, and I'm thinking I know. I feel like I'm looking at the poster in my mind, but now I'm like, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't know it at all.
So Out Cold is like a teen rom-com that's a retelling of Casablanca.
Okay.
But
Oh,
it's like
kind of like
really
barbed wire.
yeah, it's like really silly and stupid, but I love it so much. I
Hmm.
genuinely think it's a good movie. Like, don't at me. Um, so that movie, my friends and I used to watch it in high school all the time. We
Okay.
just loved it. We always put it on in the background.
And who is in it?
Um, Jason London, I think. One
Okay.
of the
Oh
London
yeah.
brothers, whichever one wasn't in Mallrats. I think it's
Oh.
Jason London. Um, Zach Galifianakis is in it, but he's
Okay.
not like the comedic relief. It's this other
Oh.
guy that plays the
Mm.
comedic relief. And hmm, I forget who else is in it. I mean, I just forget their names.
Right.
So I used to watch that movie all the time in high school and we loved it. And then I went away to college in North Carolina and I'd kind of forgotten about its existence. And I would
Hmm.
come home and I'd see my friends like twice a year. And I think sometime around like my senior year of college, I came home and my best friend was like, yo, remember this movie? And holds it up on DVD. And I'm just like, oh my God, it's Out Cold. I forgot about Out Cold. So he pops it in. We come up with this like insane drinking game while watching Out Cold. And ever since then, it's just been our tradition. Every time we come home, we watch Out Cold and we play the drinking game.
Okay.
And people rarely think about this movie or bring up this movie. So when
Hmm.
people do, it just reminds me of this like coming home to my friends that I barely ever get to see. They're still my core group of friends. I love them so much, but it just kind of gives me that memory of like this group of people
Right. This group of people from when
from my
growing
youth.
up.
My
From your
youth.
youth.
Yeah, this is my
So,
coming of age film here.
oh, I
It's
love
Out
it.
Cold.
I want to know what the drinking game
Oh, look,
is.
Benjamin, what a great underrated movie. Yes,
Thanks,
it is.
Ben.
It's great. So the drinking game was, oh, it was ridiculous, guys. Like, full disclaimer: if you play this, you're gonna like just drink responsibly or whatever because it's very dangerous. It was anytime they wipe out while snowboarding.
Okay.
Oh, because it was Casablanca, but they live on a snowboarding resort and like they're selling the mountain.
They
It's
have to.
wild.
Why do they have to leave? What's the
I think the mountain didn't make a lot of money, and then
okay?
some big wig comes in and he's like, "There's a lot of potential here. We're gonna sell the mountain," and they didn't want to be like snowboarding sellouts, so they try to sabotage selling the mountain. Oh, Thomas Lennon's in it too.
Oh, so you got some good comedic
It's
chops in
There's
that.
some great people in it. So it's anytime they wiped out, anytime they drank because they drank a lot, and they played
Mhm.
this game called King of the Mountain, where you have to snowboard down the mountain while drinking a beer,
Okay,
and
that
whoever
sounds
makes it to the end
dangerous.
of the mountain with the most beer in their glass wins King of the Mountain.
So you're not supposed to. Oh wait, how
Um,
is the beer?
well, I don't want to
Not
spoil
in a
it,
bottle, but
but the
in
guy
a.
that won by drinking the beer, holding it in his mouth, and then
Yeah,
spitting
that's
it
what I was
back
gonna
into the
say. That
glass.
that was gonna be my my thing. You just hold it in your mouth,
Yeah.
and then.
Oh, that would make me gag.
So wait, I'm still confused on this scene. So you try to get down the mountain with the beer, but you're supposed to drink it at the same time, or you're just supposed to have.
I actually, sorry, I think you're just supposed to hold it.
Okay, you're supposed to hold it, and it's like in a cup.
And the scene is hilarious because they're doing like flips and stuff, and you're just like, you're not, you're missing the point.
Yeah, are we trying to keep it in there?
Yeah, and then it goes. I think they skate down. What's that? Oh, they skate down to not skate, snowboard down to Sum 41. Great soundtrack too. There's a great Eve Six song.
Uh,
Uh,
that sounds total
love
90s, and I'm
it's
into it.
it's perfect 90s.
Okay, I need to check this out. I please, if you're in the chat and you can look up Netflix and or Amazon Prime to see if it's on either of those, because those are services that I
I think.
participate in.
Oh,
Let me know.
I doubt it. I doubt it's on any streaming service. You might have
Oh,
to purchase it
yeah,
on Amazon.
got it.
But so I told you I was gonna have a weird answer.
I
Out
love it.
cold.
Eve 6,
Eve 6.
anytime. Yes,
That's
Eve
it.
6.
Yes. Okay. So that song is not on Spotify. I've tried to find it on iTunes. I can't find it anywhere. And it's a great song.
How does it go? Let's sing it.
Uh, Gonna get in the car with a smile and the burn that I put on my arm the day you went away, girl, and I probably won't come back around again. I ran out of breath.
I like it. I don't think I've ever heard that Eve 6 song. So I'm excited to hear it when I watch this movie. I have a lot of movies on my list. There was something I need to I have to watch Cobra today. So
Oh my
that's
gosh.
happening.
People are quoting this movie in the chat, and it's making me so happy.
Aw. Let's read some quotes.
Dan Nye, welcome to El Matador, which is Spanish for the
The
Matador.
Matador. Who says that line? I would say
Flex. Flex says it, I think. Flex is in the movie as well.
I always love it when someone takes L off and then puts it as the same thing. I feel like Mater did that in Cars
Oh, you
franchise
can rent
somewhere.
it on Amazon. There you go.
All right, so I gotta pay, which is fine.
Out Cold is on Hulu.
Oh wow, thank you. Zeno Hour is how I'm gonna say your name, and I apologize for not saying it correctly if I didn't.
Zeno Hour.
That's what I'd say, right? Yeah. Anyways, so Out Cold.
Ooh,
I'm
caffeinated.
totally about it.
Good.
All right, let's get to our third question, which
Yes.
is what is a film that helps you through difficult times?
Okay. This is more of like the entire franchise. I think you
Okay.
guys know what I'm going to say here.
All right.
It's a little franchise, indie called Star Wars.
Yes.
Have you heard of it? So I'm going to tell a story. It's going to get a little real here for a minute. Buckle up.
All right.
So the year was 2016. Long time ago. And no, I went through a really hard time in 2016, like the beginning of 2016. I think it was the hardest time in my life. I went through this horrific breakup, like horrific. And 2 days after that, my granddad died, and my grandmom had died like a few months before that, and then one of my friends died. It was like a lot of loss at once. And I became so reclusive. Like, I did not leave my house. I didn't want to go out in public. I didn't want to see certain people. And I just didn't do anything. I stopped like saying yes to opportunities at work. I stopped going to events. I just did not. I wanted to go to work and then go home and do nothing else.
You were overcome with depression and like
Yes.
going to just seep into it.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Yeah. And I didn't like, I liked going to work because it was like an escape to be around
Hmm.
those people. Like I loved everyone that I worked with. But then after that, I was like, I don't want to go to screenings. I don't want to go to anything like where I could see anybody. I just did not want to do it. And that was like a good 4 or 5 months of that. And then I was getting opportunities at work where I was saying no. I was like, hey, do you want to go cover this? No. Do you want to do this? Nope. Do you want to do this? Nope. And then I get this opportunity where it's like, hey, we want to send you to London to go to Star Wars Celebration. And I was like, I can't go. I can't do this. Like, I don't want to go. I don't want to see a bunch of people.
Hmm.
I don't really know anyone that's going. But then I was like, I can't turn this down. I have to. It was kind of the moment where I was like, I have to get back to my life and I have to go back.
Right.
And so I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to London. I'm going to go to Star Wars Celebration. I'm going to cover it. I don't know how it's going to be. And I was terrified the whole time, like the plane ride, the first night, like I didn't want to be there at all. And it was like, it was such a turning point out of that bout of depression because I landed off the plane and Anthony Bresnikan was there. He's like in the customs line with me. And he turns to me and he's like, is your name Ashley? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh my gosh, like we follow each other on Twitter. What's up? He became like my instant best friend. I'm still like best friends with him. And we go to like the
Aw.
bar that night, and Jermaine Lucier's there, and Peter
Mm.
Soretta, and Eric Davis, and Perry Nemiroff, and all these people that I'd never met before.
But you knew who they were.
I knew who they were,
Yeah,
and I
'cause
just
online.
yeah. And this was like I wasn't at this point still like a little hesitant about interacting with other people, but I felt like this was the first time I had opened up in so long, and I just felt like it was like a reawakening. Like I felt I don't know, like I'm still such good friends with these people,
Mhm.
and this was such a turning point in my life. Like I feel like there's a lot of people that say to me, "I have no idea who you were before like that summer." And there's a reason for
Mm.
that. It's because I didn't go anywhere. Like somebody said to me, I think it was Silas, said, "I feel like you retconned out of nowhere." And it's so true because there was just a moment where, and it was Star Wars Celebration, where I was just like, you
You
know
just
what?
appeared.
I'm gonna appear again, and I'm just gonna get into it. And I made some of the best friends of my life that weekend, and it was so important for me. And that was
Yeah.
like, that was about the release of Rogue One and The Last Jedi. But like, it's because of Star Wars that I didn't turn down that opportunity because it's so
Mhm.
important for me, and I'm so glad that I didn't turn it down because I made some of the best friends of my life there, and it just got me out of whatever I was in.
So is Rogue One kind of that was the catalyst too? Like that was the movie that
Yeah,
was being highlighted
that was the
at.
movie that was being highlighted,
Okay.
and I interviewed the cast there. So that was like kind of one of the first chunks of interviews I had done in a long time.
Mhm.
So that was really important for me because I really wanted to like kick ass and get it
You're like,
right and
"Gotta
get
get
back
back
in there.
in
Yeah,
there."
get back in the game. So yeah, that movie is really special to me for that reason.
Mhm. Oh. Now, all the tragedy, when it like in a timeline, when did that start?
It was, let's see, my grandmom died in May 2015. And then after that, my granddad was like, I'm done. Like he, like
Mhm.
his wife had just died. He was like checked out. He was done. And my breakup happened like it was kind of long. It was like between January and April. Like it was like a very long,
Yeah, drawn out thing. Cuz
drawn
how
out
long had you been together?
a year.
Okay.
Yeah. It was more just like the way it ended, it cut off so fast. And it was like, it wasn't like, hey, we're going to break up, but we're still going to be friends. It was like, no, we're going to break up and we're never going to talk again. And that's like very hard.
That's hard.
It's completely like losing somebody that was in your life, you know?
Right.
And then my granddad died 2 days after that. So it was just a ton at once.
Everything back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So starting in 2015ish, but then coming back around to 2016
Yeah. And then I think Celebration was July.
of 2016.
Yeah.
So that's a full year
Yeah.
to be in depression.
Yeah.
That's like I'm like, where do I go from here? Because like I know what it's like to be in depression for a long time
Mm-hmm.
and to finally feel like you're crawling out of like a space.
Right.
And it's just Like, I don't always attach a movie to things like such.
Right.
I feel like I was like, I can't remember what pulled me out, but I think one of the things was like a photo of myself. And I was just like, I don't know who that person is. And I was
Like an old
like,
photo?
no, like of me,
Oh,
like
oh, like in that
currently.
moment. Yeah.
Like, I hadn't taken any pictures like from the time like I was really in depression.
Hmm.
Like when I like really sunk in and was like, this is my home now. This is where
Yeah.
I live. And then like I saw a picture of myself. I was like, I don't know who that is. And that's kind of when I started to like come out.
Right. See, I get my a lot of energy from other people. Like
Hmm.
and that can be a bad thing, but it's mostly a good thing, I think. But I was getting all this energy from people that like all of a sudden just like left my life, you know? And then
Hmm.
I didn't really I think the hardest part with all of that is that I was 3,000 miles away from anybody else.
Right.
Like my
Because, yeah,
family was
your
completely
family's.
across the country,
Hmm.
and there was no funerals or anything like that. So there was just no closure for that. It was just like,
Mm.
I'm here in LA. There's no reason to go home. What am I going to do?
Right.
And I was just here alone. And that's kind of when I just sunk into everything. And going to that event and meeting all these people that, could be my BFFs, that was like a very big step for me.
Right. I like
Just
it.
putting
I'm
yourself
glad.
back out
I'm
there.
glad that you did that.
Yeah, me too.
Getting yourself back out there.
Get yourself back in the game.
And now you get to go to the Star Wars premieres that happen, the nice red carpets, and you get to meet all the cool people.
Yeah.
Is that what happens? It's like, is that what happens? And you get to get pictures with whatever BB-8's counterpart, evil counterpart is.
BB hate.
Is that what it is? Oh, well, thank you so much for sharing with
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Do you have time to stick around and do some movie prescriptions?
Yes.
Okay. So here's how this is going to work. They're on a little bit of a time delay. So we might have to wait a moment. But if you have a problem, we're going to prescribe you a movie. Let us know what it is. You can tell us in the chat. I could start by saying, I find that my daughter, here's my problem right now. I think my daughter's using a stomach ache as a device to like not go to school, like trying to get out of school. I feel like she's trying to like manipulate me into not going to school, even
Mhm.
and like, does she really have stomach ache pains or does she not? But she kind of does suffer from stomach ache pains in general. So I'm like, what movie should I watch? What movie is about stomach pains that can turn into a good thing? Maybe the chat can help me with that one because I haven't even thought of one. Hmm.
I'm gonna
There,
be so bad at that.
I'm like, I don't know. There was someone the other, or my husband was like, I play this game with my husband sometimes. And he was like, my foot hurts. And I was like, you know what movie you should watch? Clueless, because of the one line that says, my foot hurts. Can I go to the nurse? I was like, that's why you should watch that movie. And that's just what I think. So, if anyway, yeah, 1 second time delay mostly. I don't
Hmm.
know what, well, anyways.
Year of hell. That's what you call that stretch. Yeah, that's right.
I'm sorry, Dan, that you also have an issue with your stomach as well. And I feel like my daughter may have like reflux, but I don't know. All right, Ben, got a
Oh,
movie for someone trying to get back into the dating world.
aren't we all, Ben? Aren't we all?
Someone says Clockers. I haven't seen that one. Something about trying to get back. Oh, you know what was a good one? Meet the Patels. That is a really great documentary. Kind of reminds me of The Big Sick.
Ugh.
Like if The Big Sick was a documentary, if you will. It would be kind of like that, only without the sickness. But still, it's really cute, and it's on Netflix. And a friend of mine, I believe, produced it. So check out Meet the Patels about dating and getting into dating because I think that's really cute. Let's see, man. Okay, no, mm-mm. Didn't they make a movie of Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day? They did, Elise. They did.
They did. I never saw it.
I never saw it either. Was I think Steve Carell was in that? No,
Yeah, yeah.
I think so.
I
Yeah,
think so. I hope we're
and
talking
then
about the
some
right
other
movie.
people. Anyways, if anyone else has a thing, otherwise we'll just close it up. Or
Dating
unless
world.
you have do you have a superficial problem, meaning like nothing really trivial that we can prescribe you a movie for?
My trivial problems. I don't.
Okay, okay. Don't get lost on while driving.
Oh
or
my
anything like
gosh.
that?
Yeah. You guys, I got lost and then I got out of my car at the wrong place and I locked my keys in my car. So I had to break back into my car. But luckily I have a Jeep Wrangler. So I just unzipped the window and crawled through it.
I love that. It's pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
Happened like 20 minutes ago.
Says, what movie should I watch when work is terrible and bills, I don't know, getting screwed up all in one day? Oh,
So you're just
and
having like a frustrating day.
yeah, you are having a frustrating day. Xeno hour.
See, when I'm having a bad day, I just like to watch a real good, like mindless rom com, even if it's
Mhm.
bad. Like,
Something's got to give.
yeah, like
I'd
I'll watch
watch
like
that.
13 going on 30, Legally
Oh.
Blonde.
Hmm.
I mean, those might not be up your alley, but I just love something that I've seen like a million times that just makes me feel good.
Yeah, and then
Office
you can
Space. Oh,
think about
Office
it.
Space is a great recommendation.
Gone in 60 seconds for needing to break into cars. Thank you, Ben. Yes.
I
So
should
that's
go
what.
into a life of crime because I broke into my car so quickly.
Well, it was unzipping.
Yeah.
Well, so then how does that work
Somebody
when you are like when you're like someone else could get into my car?
somebody did that to me
Oh,
a couple months ago. I usually don't leave anything in my Jeep and I just leave it
yeah.
unlocked. I'm like,
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
Because I don't want anyone like cutting my windows or anything. But when I was moving, I left this like 22-inch TV in there in the back seat, and someone just unzipped my windows and
Aw.
went and took it.
In your current location right now?
Yes.
Okay.
So I just moved to downtown LA, and
Uh-huh.
everyone was advising against it. They're like, it's such a sketchy area, don't do it. And I'm like, it's gonna be fine. And then like day 4, someone broke into my
Yeah.
car.
A friend of mine like
Felt like
came
a
to visit
puss.
me and parked, and then we went to her car and someone had broken in and stole her CDs at the time.
Oh, the CDs.
Back when they were in the case, like I still have those cases, but I
Yeah,
use
I
them
had
for
the one
DVDs
that
now.
went on your
Oh yeah, that's fancy. That's fancy.
what are
Your
these things
I
called?
don't know. What are the shades? I have no
Visor
idea.
thing?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ah, good times. Good times.
Got a movie for someone who has a stressful day.
And we need to unstress that day. John Wick. I mean, I don't know. I just think of that scene where she's like kind of in that tub and thinking like, "Oh, that looks nice." But let me think. Stressful
Visors.
day.
Okay. I was like, what are those
Yeah.
things called?
Thank you.
Ugh.
Yeah, stressful day. That's all I can come up with. Something relaxing, something that had, how about Bad Mom's Christmas because she works at a
Mm.
spa?
See, I like to watch like a nice like Zen movie like Fantastic Mr. Fox or like Little Miss
Mm-hmm.
Sunshine. Those are my jams when I'm like just need to be in a nice mood.
Or falling down. You could do that. Let's fuck this stressful day. Let's just go full out. That is actually a quite frightening movie. Anyways, thank you so much
Thank
for joining
you.
me for Movie Prescription. We'll close that up.
That was so fun.
Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to prescribe you. Sorry about that, everyone. Where can everyone find you on the internet?
Oh my gosh. Well, I tweet so much at Ash Crossan, and then I work at etonline.com on their YouTube page. I think that's about it. Yeah.
Nice.
Tweet me if you want to reach me.
And if you want to reach me, you can find me on Twitter at Miss Movies, Instagram Miss_movies, because I couldn't get, it across all platforms because that just sucks.
I couldn't get my Instagram. I couldn't get my Ash Crossan across all platforms.
Did someone take it?
Yeah, on
So like,
Instagram.
what?
Who's
You're
the
like,
other?
who are you?
Who are you?
Are you just
So
saying
yeah,
this?
Instagram Ash_Crossan.
Okay, there you go. All right, thank you all for joining us. We
Sorry, I made it
will
about me
see-
again.
Hey, no, it's okay. We will see you next time. Bye, 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 bye.